Intro: when you hug a woman, it's not just a physical gesture. It's a silent conversation between souls. In that brief moment of connection, you reveal your confidence, your emotional control, and your sense of worth. But most men miss that power. They hug from insecurity, from the fear of losing her, from a need for validation, instead of from grounded presence and calm masculine energy. Sandel once said that true value is not measured by what you can take, but by the meaning you bring into an interaction. And that's exactly what Stoicism teaches. Control yourself, not others. When you hug her, your energy should tell her, "I'm here, but I don't need you. I choose you." That difference makes her want you more. In today's video, inspired by the wisdom of Sandel and ancient Stoic thought, we'll explore 7 simple yet powerful things to do when you hug a woman that instantly make her feel safe, desired, and emotionally drawn to you. Because a true Stoic man doesn't seek attention, he naturally commands it through his calm confidence. Let's begin. Be present, not performance. Most men hug to get something: approval, warmth, or validation. But a woman can feel that energy. When your hug becomes a performance, she senses your lack of grounding. Stoicism teaches presence over performance. When you hug her, don't think about what she's thinking. Don't overanalyze whether she's impressed or interested. Just be there, fully. Your body language speaks before your mouth ever does. When you hold her, breathe slowly and deeply. Feel the connection without forcing it. Don't grip too tightly. Let your calm confidence do the work. Sandel talks about how moral worth isn't in results but in intention. The same truth applies here. Your intention creates the emotional tone of the moment. Hug her not to make her want you, but to express grounded care. The paradox is, when you stop trying to make her want you, she often does. A Stoic man knows that the energy he carries is more powerful than any words he could say. When she feels that, she begins to trust your strength. And in that trust, desire grows. So when you hug her, don't act strong. Be strong, don't perform affection. Be affection. That's the first simple, timeless key. Control your energy, not the outcome. The second thing to do is deceptively simple. Control your inner state. When you hug her, notice your heartbeat. Is it racing from anxiety or calm from certainty? A woman subconsciously mirrors the energy you emit. If you're tense, she feels tension. If you're grounded, she feels safe. Sandel often speaks of the moral limits of markets, the idea that not everything valuable can be traded or measured. Emotional energy works the same way. You can't buy attraction with forced gestures. You earn it through presence and peace. When your energy is steady, you communicate non-verbally that you are in control of yourself. And that is what women crave. A man who cannot control himself cannot be trusted. But a man who stands calm while holding her shows he has mastered himself, and therefore can handle her emotions too. So, before every hug, reset yourself. Breathe in slowly through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Drop your shoulders. Relax your face. Enter the moment with stillness. This practice isn't about acting stoic, it's about being stoic. You don't chase comfort. You create it. You don't seek reassurance. You radiate assurance. That emotional discipline, that centered stillness, is magnetic. When she feels your calm, she unconsciously associates it with safety, masculinity, and attraction. Remember, women don't fall for chaos. They fall for calm. And calm begins inside you. Touch with intention, not impulse. Every touch carries meaning. When you hug a woman, the way your hands move, where they rest, how long they stay, all of it speaks volumes. The Stoics believed that intention defines virtue, not the act itself. Sandel echoes this idea in his ethical work. that morality begins not with the rule, but with the reason behind it. When your arms wrap around her, don't rush. Don't grip her out of hunger or desire. Let your touch reflect mindfulness, not need. Your hand on her back should rest with confidence, not pressure. Your fingers should remain steady, not fidgeting with nervous energy. Every second of physical contact becomes an unspoken language. It tells her whether you're a man who needs her or a man who chooses her, and women instinctively respond to that distinction. When you touch with awareness, she senses your inner stillness. It's the same calm that Stoics cultivated through discipline, to live in harmony with reason rather than impulse. This composure transforms a simple hug into a moment of emotional clarity. Remember, desire that grows from chaos burns out quickly. But desire that grows from stillness lasts. So next time you hug her, slow down. Feel the warmth. Breathe into the moment. Let your calm, intentional touch communicate what words never could. That you are present, not needy. Confident, not controlling. And grounded, not desperate. Because a Stoic man never grabs, he guides. Let silence speak. Silence has power, but only in the hands of a man who is comfortable with it. During a hug, most men break the silence with unnecessary words. They compliment her, whisper too soon, or try to fill the air, but that breaks the spell. Michael Sandel teaches that some of the most meaningful moral reflections happen not through argument, but through listening, through allowing the moment itself to reveal truth. Stoicism echoes that principle. Silence is not emptiness. It's awareness. When you hug her, allow the quiet to expand. Don't rush to speak. Let her feel the rhythm of your breathing, the steadiness of your heart, the peace in your posture. Words can be misinterpreted. Presence cannot. In those seconds of silence, she reads everything. Your confidence, your intent, your sense of control. And if your silence is strong, she'll feel drawn to it. Because a man who can stay still without needing to fill the space communicates one thing above all: certainty. This is why the Stoic embrace is powerful. It's not loud. It doesn't demand attention. It commands it. When you release her from that silent moment, look into her eyes softly. Not like a question, but like a statement of assurance. You don't need to say, "I missed you," because your stillness already did. The modern world teaches noise as expression. Stoicism teaches silence as strength. And in that silence, she feels what words cannot describe. That she's in the presence of a man who doesn't seek approval, because he already approves of himself. So next time you hug her, don't speak to impress her. Let silence express you. Hold her until she breaks. The hug control is not dominance. It's awareness. Most men hug too briefly, afraid of overstaying the moment. Others cling too long, revealing insecurity. But the Stoic approach, inspired by Sandel's concept of moral proportion, is about balance, understanding the appropriate measure in every human exchange. When you hug her, don't rush to end it. Hold her firmly but gently. Allow her body language to guide you. If she softens into your arms, don't pull away. Let her decide when to release. That moment, though small, shifts the emotional dynamic. She feels your confidence and your patience. This subtle act shows her something powerful. You are not trying to escape intimacy, nor are you forcing it. You're simply present, steady, open, and self-contained. Sandel's moral philosophy suggests that the good life isn't about control or surrender. It's about knowing when each is necessary. When you hold her and let her end the hug, you communicate respect, emotional maturity, and calm control. You give her space to choose, and that freedom builds attraction far stronger than words. Because a man who doesn't rush, in touch, in speech, or in emotion, is a man who understands time. He knows that connection cannot be forced. It unfolds. After she pulls back, smile. Not widely, not eagerly, but with quiet certainty. That subtle smile says, I enjoyed this moment, but I'm not dependent on it. It leaves her wondering about your calm, your restraint, your confidence. And that curiosity is what draws her back to you. Remember, a Stoic man lets go first in mind, not in touch. When your inner world is free from attachment, your outer actions become naturally magnetic. So the fifth key is simple. Hold her with strength, release her with grace. Let her feel your presence long after your arms have left her. Stay calm. After the hug ends. But what happens next often determines what she truly feels about you. Most men make the mistake of overreacting once the hug is done. They rush to speak, smile nervously, or seek her reaction. Did she like it? Should I say something? Should I hold her hand now? But a Stoic man, as Michael Sandel would say, doesn't measure meaning through instant gratification. He allows it to unfold. After the hug, remain composed. Don't fill the air with words or gestures that seek validation. Your calm silence communicates maturity. It tells her that you're not shaken by intimacy, that closeness doesn't overwhelm you. You exist comfortably both within connection and within solitude. She may step back and look at you, expecting a reaction. This is the moment most men break their composure. They laugh, joke, or overcompensate. But if you hold that grounded energy, her mind starts to wonder, why is he so calm? Why does he feel so sure of himself? And in that moment of quiet reflection, attraction deepens. Michael Sandel often speaks about the dignity of restraint, the idea that sometimes the most powerful moral act is the choice not to act impulsively. When you resist the urge to perform, to impress, to prove something, you step into true masculine presence. The Stoic approach here is simple. Don't chase her eyes. Let her look for yours. Don't reach again, let her come closer if she wants. Don't break your posture and stay steady and soft at once, because calmness is rare. Stillness is magnetic. And women crave the stability of a man who remains unshaken by emotion. The beauty of a Stoic man lies not in how passionately he hugs, but in how peacefully he lets go. When the hug ends, keep that same rhythm of breathing. Look at her with quiet warmth. Not hunger, not distance, just balance. You've already said enough without saying a word. Carry the energy beyond the moment. The seventh and final thing is subtle but powerful. Carry the same grounded energy beyond the hug. Stoicism is not a performance. It's a way of being. Michael Sandel reminds us that our moral choices don't end in conversation. They extend into how we live, how we walk, how we treat others. Likewise, the energy you create in that hug should not disappear once it's over. Carry it forward in your tone, in your pace, in your eye contact. Let her see that the man who held her calmly is the same man who walks calmly, speaks calmly, and lives calmly. This consistency is what separates men who impress women from men who influence them. Attraction built on moments fades. Attraction built on presence endures. When she sees that you're not just calm when touching her, but calm when life challenges you, she begins to feel safe with you. And safety, emotional or physical, is the root of feminine attraction. Think about this. In a world of men constantly chasing, performing, and pretending, your stillness becomes unforgettable. It's the emotional equivalent of standing still while the world spins in chaos. You don't have to prove your value. Your composure speaks it. You don't have to chase validation. Your inner peace is validation. Carry that energy into your day, into your next conversation, into every interaction. Because once you become that steady presence, Women will feel it, not because you're trying to impress them, but because your calm confidence naturally commands respect. That's the essence of Stoic masculinity. Power without pressure, affection without attachment, confidence without arrogance, and that's how you turn a simple hug into a moment that lingers in her mind long after you've walked away. The Stoic secret of attraction. When Michael Sandel speaks about justice, dignity, and moral worth, he often reminds us that the true measure of a person isn't found in what they gain, but in how they carry themselves in every human encounter. This is what Stoicism teaches about attraction too. It's not about techniques, tricks, or tactics. It's about mastery of self, your energy, your emotion, your presence. When you hug a woman, be calm, not cold. Be strong, not stiff. Be gentle, not weak. Be silent, not empty. Each of these 7 steps isn't about manipulation, it's about transformation. When you master these small acts, you redefine what it means to be attractive. You move from seeking validation to radiating value. Because ultimately, women don't fall for what you say. They fall for how you make them feel, safe, seen, and steady. So remember this. Every hug is an exchange of energy. Every moment of stillness is an act of strength. And every act of restraint is proof of power. When you hug her again, let her feel not the need of a man but the peace of one. Because that peace is what she'll crave again and again. In the words of Michael Sandel, our worth is not measured by outcomes, but by the meaning we bring to our actions. So bring meaning to your touch, bring calm to your presence, and bring stoicism to your love. That's how you become unforgettable.